Hello everyone, it's me Sanjay Vasu back again for another video. This time it's on a Cambridge Law Secondary Checkpoint paper for Mathematics, Paper 1 of April 2016. Let's start. Question 1. Fatima has a phone. A. The time on the phone is 17:23. Write this time using the 12-hour clock. So 12-hour clock basically means you write AM or PM in the timing, and 24-hour means you write it without that. But 12-hour means the only numbers from 1 to 12 on the hours one. That's why it's written 12-hour. On 24-hour, it can be from 0 to 23. So there's a difference. Now when we subtract 12 minus 17, we get 5:23. And 5:23 p.m. because we've subtracted 12 hours from it to make it a 12-hour clock. So 5:23 p.m. is the answer. B. Fatima starts a phone call at 18:32. The phone call finishes at 19:16. Work out the length of the phone call. Over here we have 19:16 is the end, and the start is 18:32. Now we just subtract this. We have to borrow 76, and now we get the answer as 44 minutes. That's the answer. Question 2. Work out a 11.28 minus 2.843. Now we can do that like this. First make this hours 3 decimal places, and this one's already in 3 decimal place. So now we just do the normal subtraction method. We have to cancel out 10. We have 7, 3, cancel this, 12, and we get 4. Cancel this, and then we get 10 there. 8.437. That's the answer. B. 16.8 into 7. So 16.8, we just multiply that by 7 using the normal multiplication method. 56, and 6 sevens are 42, 47, 11. And now we add the decimal place, 117.6. Question 3. Draw a line to match each fraction to its equivalent percentage. The first one has been done for you. Over here we have the first one. 1 by 5 is equal to 20%. Now 3 by 20, how much percentage is that? When you make it into 100 as a denominator, so you have to multiply both by 5, that's 15 by 100, which is 15%. Now this one, 7 by 50, do the same method, make it 100 on the denominator. That's 14 by 100, which is 14%. And the last one, there's only one option left, but I'll just show you how to do it. So 4 by 25, we just have to make it 100, so multiply both sides by 4, and we get 16 by 100, which is 16%. Question 4. A. Put a ring around a number that's divisible by 4. 1882, 218, 281, 812. We know that 281 cannot be divisible by 4 because it's an odd number. Now the rest 3 are even numbers. So first, how do we know if a number is divisible by 4 even if it's even? We have to see the last 2 digits, and if these last 2 digits are divisible by 4, then the number is divisible by 4. Here it's 182, so we consider 82. This is not divisible by 4 because when we divide it, the answer is 20.5, and this is not an integer. Now same thing for 218. When we divide this 18, last 2 digits, by 4, we get 4.5, which is not an integer. This one we know it's not correct. Now 812. When we take the 12 here and divide by 4, we get 3, which is an integer. Therefore, the answer is 812 or 812. B. Trick to show whether each of these statements is true or false. 15 squared equals 225. Yes, it's correct. True. Root 144 is 72. Obviously not. The answer is actually 12. 4 squared equals root 64. 4 squared equals 16. And root 64 is plus or minus 8. These are not equal, therefore it is false. 5. Natasha is making a pattern using matchsticks. The first 3 patterns are shown. Complete the table. So we have, if pattern number 1, then there are 5 matchsticks. When pattern number 2, you can count them up. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matchsticks as given here. And now with the same thing for pattern 3, there are 11. For pattern 4, how much will there be? When we see the term-to-term rule, we always have to add 3 matchsticks to get the new pattern. Therefore, for a fourth pattern, it's 11 plus 3, which is 14 matchsticks. So instead of finding out the 5th, 6th, and 7th terms to find the 8th one, we can find it using the formula, which means the formula for the position to term rule or the number of matchsticks according to the pattern number. The formula is actually 3n plus 2, because when you substitute the pattern number in, we will always get the number of matchsticks. For any pattern number, we will always get the correct number of matchsticks. So now we can substitute 8 into this to get the number of matchsticks for that. 3 into 8 plus 2, which is 24, plus 2, which is 26. That's the answer. Question 6. Here are 4 number cards. The 4 cards are arranged to make a 4-digit whole number. Explain why this number must be divisible by 3. First thing, there are 4 number cards and only these 4 cards are used, which means there are no duplicates. And next, first, how do you find out if it's divisible by 3? You have to add all the digits. So let's say 3, 5, 7, 9. When we add up all the digits, we get 24. And this, when we divide by 3, we get a whole number, which is 8. It's a whole number, an integer. So no matter what order we arrange it in, let's say 5, 3, 9, 7 or something, when we add it up, it'll always be the same. The sum will be the same. And we divide by 3, we get always 8 as the answer when we divide by 3. And that means it is divisible by 3 because it's always a whole number. The cards will add up to 24 no matter which order they are placed in. And 24 is divisible by 3. That's the answer. Question 7. A. Work out 8 into 1 by 3. Give your answer as a mixed number. 8 into 1 by 3 is 8 by 3. And then we make it a mixed number, 2 by 3. That's the answer. B. Work out 6 divided by 2 by 3. Give your answer in its simplest form. 6 divided by 2 by 3 is 6 into 3 by 2, which is 18 by 2, and that's 9. That's the answer. Question 8. The diagram shows triangle ABC. A. Write down the coordinates of B. B over here has an x value of 4 and a y value of minus 2. Therefore, we just write these two coordinates, x4, y minus 2. B. Triangle ABC is reflected in the x-axis. Write down the coordinates of the image of point A. So when we reflect it in the x-axis here, so point A, when it's reflected, it'll be here. Point C will also be here. Point B will also be here to form the same triangle, but it's reflected in the x-axis. So point A prime, which means it's been reflected, is at the coordinates 1, 1. X is 1 and y is also 1. Question 9. Suki is exploring how the amount of sun affects the growth of 3 bean plants. Each day she records the height of the plants. A. On which day did the plant growing in the shade have a height of 8 centimeters? We can see over here the height in centimeters in the y-axis. And when we have 8 centimeters, it crosses with 7 days on the line where the shade plant is there. The answer is day 7. B. Calculate the difference in heights of the plants growing in full sun and in some sun on day 14 of the experiment. So for full sun, we have 28 centimeters. For some sun, it's 24 centimeters. So now we get 28 minus 24, which is equal to 4 centimeters difference. C. Write down the conclusions that Suki can make about how the amount of sun affects the height of these bean plants. So we can see that if there's a full sun, it grows really fast. If there's some sun, it grows quite fast. If there's no sun or it's a shade, then it's quite slow. So that means if there is more sun, these bean plants will grow faster. Question 10. Find the sum of the first four negative integers. So the first four negative integers are -1, -2, -3, and -4. When we add all of these, we will get -1, -2, -3, and -4. So when we subtract it all, we get -10. Why? -1 minus 2 is -3. -3 minus 3 is -6. And -6 minus 4 is -10. Therefore, the answer is -10. Question 11. The diagram shows a floor plan. Calculate the area. So first thing we need to do is we separate this into two separate rectangles. I'll do it right here. So we need to find this side here. We know that this full thing is 11 meters and this half is 6 meters. Now the other half is 11 minus 6, which is 5 meters. Now we can find the area of both rectangles. We'll label it A and B. So rectangle A has 3 into 5, which is 15 meters squared. So we'll write that down. Rectangle B has 6 into 10, which is 60 meters squared. Now when we add it up, A plus B, that's the whole floor plan, 15 plus 60, 75 meters squared. That's the answer. Question 12. Here's a mapping. Look at the following functions. Take the two functions that could represent the mapping. So that means x here, and then when we change it, it becomes 6x minus 8. So we'll try that. The input is x, and the output is something which we do to x. So x becomes 6x minus 8. So when you put 2 in, we have 6 into 2 minus 8, which is equal to 12 minus 8, which is 4. That's right. The output is 4. That means do we tick it? No, not yet. First, we need to check the other one as well. Input is 4, output is 16. Now when you put input at x as 4, 6 into 4 minus 8, which is equal to 24 minus 8, which is 16. Now, we can see that actually both of them are correct. Now only we can say that it represents the mapping. We can do the same thing for this one. 2 multiplied by 2, 4. Inputs 2, outputs 4. Now 4 multiplied by 2 is 8, but it's not 16, so we don't tick this. Next, x is 4x minus 6. Now let's take it. 2 into 4 minus 6. That's equal to 8 minus 6, which is 2. Already we know that it's wrong because we're supposed to get 4. We got 2. Now x and x squared. When we square 2, we get 4. When we square 4, we get 16. So input and output, they correspond, and we can tick it. So these are the two functions. X becomes 6x minus 8, and x becomes x squared. Question 13. Here are two cycle routes. A. David is cycling the red route. He has cycled 8 2/3 kilometers. How much further does he have to cycle? So now we just subtract this one, 82 by 3, from the total, which is 10 kilometers. That's equal to, when we subtract it properly, 1 by 3 kilometers. That's the answer. B. Sanjit is cycling the blue route. He takes a break exactly halfway. How many kilometers has he cycled at this point? So we need to find out exactly halfway of the blue route. That means we just divide by 2. 7 1 by 4 divided by 2. That's equal to 29 by 4 divided by 2, which is 29 by 4 into 1 by 2. That's 29 by 8. And when you simplify, when you make it a mixed fraction, it becomes 3 5 by 8. And this is half of the distance, and that means he has cycled 3 5 by 8 kilometers. That's the answer. Question 14. The diagram shows a triangular tile. Draw a sketch to show how you would put 4 of these tiles together to make a square. So what we need to do is we should make a square with all the lengths same sides. I'll draw this and then show you how it's actually a square. This is not a scale because it's just a sketch. It's not an actual measurement. As you can see, my lines are quite bad. But still, this, we can say it's a square because this is one tile over here. You can see this tile, it's over here. This side is over here. Now, we've joined these tiles together and we got the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle at the edge. All 4 sides has the hypotenuse of the triangle as the edge. And all of that is equal, therefore the side lengths are all equal, and this is a square. And now all you have to do is label it. We can label it as these 4 are equal, and these 4 are also equal. And then this is 7 centimeters. And also, label the right angles over here. That's the answer. Question 15. The diagram shows a 50 milliliter bottle. Calculate how many liters of liquid are needed to fill 80 of these bottles. First, we'll find how many milliliters are needed. 80 into 50, because 80 bottles and 50 milliliters per bottle. That's equal to 4,000 milliliters, which is equal to 4 liters, because 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. Use the proportion and you'll get it easily. That's the answer. Question 16. Write the number 874.591. A. Correct the 2 decimal places. The 2 decimal places in this is 5, 9. 9 is the second decimal place. 1's the third one and it's less than 5, therefore we don't change it. 874.59. B. Correct the 2 significant figures. So we have 874.591. The first significant figure is 8 on the left, and then second is 7. Third one's 4 and it's less than 5, therefore we don't change anything. 870. Question 17. A box contains a large number of colored balls. Each ball is colored red or green or blue or yellow. Anush takes a ball at random from the box and records its color. She then puts the ball back in the box. She does this 200 times. Complete the table. For this, we need to see the proportion. So if there's 64 balls, we have 0.32. Now 48 balls means 48 by 200, which is 24 by 100, 0.24. Now for the yellow, 0.16 out of 200, which is 0.16 into 200. That's equal to 32 balls. 32 for yellow. Now we need to get the blue balls, so we just subtract 200 minus 64 minus 48 minus 32, which the answer is 56. So 56 blue balls. Now for the relative frequency, 56 by 200 is equal to 28 by 100. That's equal to 28% or 0.28. So 0.28 is the delta frequency. That's the answer. Question 18. The diagram shows the median family income and the median age of people in 20 countries. So on the x-axis we have median family income, and on the y-axis we have median age. Does this diagram show a correlation between median age and median family income? No. It's kind of obvious. No. Give a reason for your answer. There is no slope in this. There's no slope between it. There's no, you can't draw a line of best fit between this correlation graph or scatter graph. Because let's just take an age in years. Let's say 35. So the median family income could be even below 10,000 or even could be above 25,000. And because of this, there's no correlation. So if the age is X, that means a random value in this scale, the income can be high or low. That's the answer. Question 19. Put one set of brackets in each calculation to make the answer correct. 4 plus 9 to 6 minus 4 is equal to 22. So when we do this normally, we get 9 to 6 first is 54. Add 4 minus 4, cancel out, it's 54. So this is not 22. So we need to make it multiply by a lesser number. Aha, we just got it. Put a bracket here. 9 to 2 is 18. And add 4, we get 22. That's the answer. So over here, we put some brackets. It doesn't need to be that there are only two things inside it. There could be three numbers, three terms. B, 24 divided by 12 minus 8 plus 2 is 4. So 24 divided by 12 is 2, minus 8, and then plus 2. So minus 8 is minus 6, and plus 2, we get minus 4. So 24 divided by what is 4? We need 6, right? So when you put a bracket here, we have 12 minus 8 plus 2, which is 6. So we actually need that, and we actually get that as the answer. Question 20. The diagram shows a square with perimeter of 20 centimeters. 8 of these squares fit to make a rectangle. Work out the area. So if a square's perimeter is 20 centimeters, that means the length of the square is equal to 20 by 4 is 5 centimeters. Now the area of the rectangle will be length into breadth. So the length is 5 into 4, which is equal to 20 centimeters. Breadth is equal to 5 into 2, which is 10 centimeters. Now area of rectangle, rect, is equal to 20 into 10, which is equal to 200 centimeters squared. That's the answer. Question 21. Lemons cost $5.40 per kilogram. Layla buys 0.35 kg of lemons. Calculate how much Layla's lemons will cost. So 1 kilogram, 1 kg is equal to $5.40. Now 0.35 kg will be 5.4 into 0.35. That's equal to, we can just do the maths here. Now 0, 27, 2, 16. And now we get 1890. And then we add 3 decimal places. $1.89. That's the answer. Question 22. The diagram shows a right angle triangles. Squares are drawn on each of the 3 sides. Area of square P is 17 centimeters squared. Area of square R is 50 centimeters squared. Area of square Q. What's that area? So we know the area of square P and square R. So let's take the side of the triangle here to be P, here to be R, and here to be Q. Now we can use Pythagoras theorem to find the answer. So R squared is equal to P squared plus Q squared. Now R squared, which is this length of R squared, is actually equal to the area of square R. And the area of square R is 50 centimeters squared. Same way, p squared is equal to the area of square p. So p squared is 17. And then q squared is the same as area of square q. So we can just write q. That means q is equal to 50 minus 17, which is 33 centimeters squared. That's the answer. Question 23. Write down one of these symbols in the gap to make a true statement. The first one has been done for you. 24 divided by 2 dash 24. It's always less than because it's 12. 56 into 1.02 is dash 56. We're multiplying by a number which is greater than 1, therefore it's greater than. 16 into 0.2 dash 16. Multiplying by a number less than 1, so less than. 35 divided by 0.55 dash 35. It's greater than because this number is less than 1, but we are dividing by. So when you multiply by, it will become this 55 by 100. So when you multiply by, it will become 100 by 55, which is greater than 1. And that means it will be greater than 35, the ending answer. Now 40 into 0.4 by 0.4 dash 40. So we multiply by 0.4 and divide by 0.4. We can cancel these two out. We'll just get 40 equals 40. Question 24. Take the graph of y equals 2x minus 1. So we can see the line formula. Y equals mx plus c. Over here the gradient is m, and that's 2. That means it has to be a positive gradient. So it's one of these three lines. This is not the answer. Now we need to see that this is positive gradient and it's a 2 gradient. So this is clearly not 2 because it's a very shallow slope. These two are steep slopes. And if we see a rise by that, when it increases 2 in y, it increases 1 in x. That means the gradient is 2. Here, it increases 2 in x and 1 in y. That means the gradient is actually half. So this is wrong, this is wrong. Now we can say it's one of these two. But which one? Now we can take note of the second part. Y equals mx plus c. The c over here is minus 1. And because the c is y-intercept, so that means the point minus 1 over here, y-intercept, intersects the y-axis at minus 1. The fourth option is the correct option. Alright, so now I'll show you the gradient on the graph. So let's take 2 points on the line, this point and this point. So the gradient is equal to rise by that, which means the increase in y value by the increase in x value. So the gradient is equal to 2 by 1, which is equal to 2. And that's what we have in the line. 2x minus 1 means gradient of 2 and y-intercept negative 1. What do you mean by y-intercept? The point where the line intersects the y-axis. Right here. That point is 0, negative 1, which is on the y-axis, and y is equal to negative 1. So this is the gradient 2, and the y-intercept is negative 1. Therefore, that's the answer. Question 25. A. Ami is 160 centimeters tall. The ratio of Ami's height to Nadia's height is 8:7. Work out how many centimeters taller Ami is than Nadia. So first, what's Nadia's height? Nadia's height is 160 divided by 8 into 7. Because one part is equal to 160 by 8, and we need 7 parts. So we multiply by 7. That's 20 into 7, which is 140 centimeters. Now the difference is 160 minus 140, which is equal to 20 centimeters. That's the answer. B. Ami has a mass of 72 kilograms and Raphael has a mass of 108 kilograms. Write Ami's mass as a fraction of Raphael's mass. Give your answer in simplest form. So we can write this as 72 by 108. And now when we simplify it, we get 2 by 3 because both sides can be divided by 36. So the answer is 2 by 3. Question 26. In the diagram, AB is parallel to CD, which is these two lines. A triangle AC is isosceles with AE equals CE because of these two lines. Work out the values of x degrees here and y degrees here. We need to notice that this is an isosceles triangle, so we can find y easily. These two angles are equal. That means this is also y. And it adds up to 180, so 2y plus 46 equals 180. 2y is equal to 134, and y is equal to 67 degrees. Now we can write that down here, and now we need to find x right there. We can see that these two are parallel, but still we can see there's a z over here. What does this stand for? Alternate angles. And that means these two angles are equal, and these two, if we extend it, are equal. So if these two angles are equal, 46 degrees is equal to x. That means x is equal to 46 degrees due to alternate angles. That's the answer. Question 27. A. Here are four numbers: 0.02, 0.2, 2, 20. Write these numbers in the boxes to make a correct calculation. Each number should only be used once. We can say that we need to add 20 because if we add anything else, it's not easy to get 40. So we need to add 20 here. And this one must be equal to 20. So we've already used 20. Now we need these three numbers: 0.02, 0.2, and 2. So if we multiply these two, it will be too small and won't be 20. If we multiply these two and divide it by this, we divide by 0.02, and 0.2 into 2. That's equal to 0.4 by 0.02. It's equal to 0.4 into 50. It's equal to 20. This is actually 20. That means we can put it in any order because it's multiplication, but we need to put 0.02 at the bottom and 20 over here, and these two numbers anywhere you want in these two positions. When you calculate it out, this full thing, 20 plus 20 is 40. And we've used all the numbers only once. That's the answer. B. Work out 1/2 of 2/3 of 3/4 of 4/5 of 200. Alright, so we'll just write this in numbers. 1/2 multiplied by 2/3 multiplied by 3/4 multiplied by 4/5 multiplied by 200. Now we can see we have the same numbers on the denominator and numerator. Therefore, we can cancel out these numbers. That means we get 1/5 into 200. The answer for that is 40. That's the answer. Question 28. The scale drawing shows the route for a cycling race, which starts and finishes at point P, over here. The scale is 1 centimeters to 2 kilometers. The line PQ on the drawing is 6.1 centimeters. Complete the table to show the distance and the bearing for each stage of the route. Stage 1 is from P to Q, over here. Distance 12.2 kilometers, bearing 064 degrees. That means 64 degrees over here from the north line. Now we need to complete stage 2 and stage 3. So stage 2, from Q to R, we need to find the distance and the bearing. Same thing for stage 3. So let's do stage 2. I've actually printed out this diagram on an A4 sheet, and the length of this line QR is actually equal to 6.5 centimeters. But we need to see that 1 centimeter is 2 kilometers. That means 6.5 into 2. That's equal to 13 kilometers. That's the distance. Now the bearing is this angle here, because the angle from the north line of the stage from Q to R. It's from Q, and that's why it's at the point Q, clockwise from the north line. Now this angle, when you measure it, it actually measures 148 degrees. That's what we'll write. Now stage 3, which is from R straight back to P. This line segment here has a length of 9.5 centimeters when you measure it, and therefore when you multiply by 2 we get 19 kilometers. So the distance is 19 kilometers. And now the bearing is the angle clockwise from the north line from the point R, because it's written from R to P. So this angle, how do you measure it? First we can find out the angle here, and that angle is 73 degrees when you measure it. So this angle will be 360 minus 73, and when you do that we get the answer as 287 degrees. That's the answer. And with this, I come to the end of my video. I hope you liked the video and I hope you learned something new from it. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.